Hi, today we're going to talk about how to get closer to your blog readers. I've been having, for the last few weeks, a feeling of spinning my wheels. Do you ever feel like you are kind of doing the same thing, but you're not sure it's working anymore? You're still posting, but it's sort of getting monotonous, and you wonder, is this like, do people like it? Why are the page views going down gradually, but going down? The thing that helps me see what I'm doing and where I'm going is to take a step back and have a look at the company as a whole, or in your case, the blog as a whole. What is the goal of blogging? To make money. There are other benefits to your readers, the relationships, the message, content that you're giving out, all of those really valuable things. But at the end of the day, you're putting in these full-time hours and not for volunteer sake, right? So the goal of blogging is really to make money. Through the years, I have seen one thing that the best bloggers have in common. Lindsay from Pinch of Yum, Mique from 30 Handmade Days, and Chriselle from the Chriselle Factor. Now, one is Pinch of Yum is a foodie site, Mique is a lifestyle craft DIY site, and Chriselle is a fashion site. All of those ladies have millions of followers, and they have one thing that's incredibly in common. In the blog, I link to their about pages. Read that one page for 3 of them, and I think you'll see it right away, because it's that obvious. It's what draws people to them. And regardless of your niche, this can work for you. And it is authenticity and relationship. It's kind of simple. But if you go to their about pages, you immediately feel like you could be their friend. Like, I'm sure not everybody feels that way, but for a lot of us, and who's reading or listening to this today, you go there and you immediately feel a connection with them. Like, if I went through that, I would deal with it similarly, or I would find that really tough, or I've been through that before. You have this connection. So today, the rest of the day, we're going to talk about how to create that connection, how to get closer to your reader. We all know that we want our readers to become our fans, to become our buyers, to become our evangelists. So how to get people to move along that line, no matter where they're at, to go a little bit deeper in relationship with you, is through a few different things. I went to Psychology Today, and I went to Copy Blogger to learn some copywriting tactics to make this come across. And Kissmetrics had some really good articles on how successful these efforts are. And so those 3, I kind of owe this article to. Now let's start with 5 different things that you can do today to go deeper with your reader. So yesterday, I actually took my daughter to town, to the city. It's about an hour and a half from here. And she had an orthopedic appointment. And we went down, and it was a beautiful day, and she got to skip school, and it was just the 2 of us, and she just soaked it in. She just loves it when it's the 2 of us. And then we had to turn around and drive home because I got the wrong date written on my calendar. If it's not on my calendar, that's it. Anyway, we still had a nice drive and a nice day together. Another experience. Have you ever been through the drive-thru and you get like a sing-songy voice? Welcome to so-and-so, what can I get for you today? And it's like, okay, are you talking to me? Or like, I'm a real person over here. And one time I got my drink, and I was putting my change away in my wallet, and the lady actually yelled over my head, "Next!" Like I was taking too much time. It really feels awful when you feel like you are invisible or less than or in the way of somebody, or even if you're just one of the crowd. And so our first point is to make them feel like they are your only reader, your one and only reader. Make your audience feel like they are the friend that you've met. And the only way to do this is to really, really know your audience. So that's a whole nother topic, but you have to know them really well so that you can talk one-on-one, like how I would talk to you if we were just sitting down having a cup of coffee and I had to tell you that I took my daughter all the way to Vancouver and had to turn around and drive all the way back because that is just so me. And so number one is treat your readers not as if they're a group, but as if you're writing to just one person. Number two is to know your readers, what we talked about before. I'm not going to talk about how to know them. We're just going to quickly go over how to work with readers when you may have hundreds, you may have thousands, you may have hundreds of thousands. Okay, let me tell you a story to illustrate this. When I started the company, used to refer to WordPress Barista as us and we. Like, we'll get back to you, we'll do this. And it was just me. It was just little old me at the beginning and I think I wanted it was natural because I wanted to portray the stability and the professionalism of a bigger company than I actually was. But that goes against doing something personal because I would never do something like write a client an individual email because I couldn't do that for everybody. And I didn't want to get overwhelmed. And I'm like a systems person, so it has to all be systematized. But you know what? It doesn't hurt to write one email and make that one person feel special. Yeah, you might not be able to do it for everybody today, but you can cycle through different people. So I have some ideas to help you get personal with your audience, even though you can't respond to every single one individually. Feature a reader. Feature one of your readers. Interview them or just highlight a comment that they made. Put their name on your blog, on an email, in social media. Just having that personal acknowledgement can mean a lot. Have a monthly giveaway for your loyal commenters. Have a list of readers' blogs that you visit and comment on regularly, even if you only go to one or two a day. Because I know that we go to blogs we admire and respect. We learn from them. We get better at our trade by doing that. But don't forget that your readers are why you're in this business, and visit their blogs. Create a Twitter list of your readers. You guys might have noticed me doing this so that you can find their tweets, because tweets just go through so fast. And I think I'm following almost 1,000 people and I just never get to see your tweets. So we have a list of you guys, and now I can go and I can look at everything that people are posting from that list. And it's brilliant. I get to keep up on what is interesting to you guys, what you're posting about, what you're reading about, and what you are tweeting about. Another one is to create a Facebook Live question and answer. Get your questions, answer them all live. And I know some people are really uncomfortable on camera. Do it if you can, like really, really do it. And some people are opening up Facebook groups that won't become old, I don't think. It's the new forums. Like we used to have forums where we would discuss and hang out with people who we had similar interests with. So number 3, respond promptly. So I know that some of you guys have a disastrously full email inbox. I know when I email somebody that I respect, that's ahead of me in business, and they get back to me like within a couple of hours, I'm like humbled. Like it's really, it's nice to be appreciated, to be acknowledged. So if you can, respond to people, to your readers personally and quickly. In order to do this, I recommend expanding your team. You don't have to be good at everything, right? I think a lot of you have talked to Allison because we added her to our team 3 months ago. And she's made a huge difference. She's getting back to you guys faster. She's so nice. She's just got that sweet personality where I'm kind of like headstrong. I want to, I have this task in my head and I got to get it done. And your email's in my way. And she has that, she breathes a little bit better than I do or something. And it's brilliant. work really well together. So you know what? If you're not strong in that, delegate. It is so worth it. And the growth that we've seen from doing that has more than paid her for her salary. Okay, that's 4. Is that 4? So we talked about the one and only reader. Make them feel like they're the one and only. Know your readers. Get to know them personally and do little things like Q&As. Respond promptly. Number 4 is dialogue. Okay, so I'm kind of a lecturer, in case you haven't noticed. I love to just, like, these are my ideas. This is my outline. This is what I have to tell you. And it's just so exciting. You have to know this stuff. But you know what? Dialogue works so much better. I need to know how you guys are doing with this. Do you want to hear this? It needs to be a two-way street. So do this. Encourage dialogue. Encourage it through commenting. Encourage dialogue with your readers through social media. Post a topic for discussion every now and then. Respond to your newsletter replies. Like, ask them a question in the newsletter, and when they reply, respond. Say thank you. Do a fun survey or quiz, those personality things, or what would your Halloween name be, blah, 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 blah. Some people like those. Whatever will work for your guys. And personalized downloads. I love the thing where you can take a quiz and then it gives you, okay, so this is your result and you get this download. And number 5 is topics. And this really connects with the dialogue piece. Your audience has to know that you are interested in them. If they know you, if they know that you have this openness, that you actually care, that you're listening, when they have questions, you answer them, it becomes a two-way street. So post on the topics that will encourage interaction. I got this quote from Jeff Hayden at Inc.com. The person who builds great relationships doesn't think about what she wants. She starts by thinking about what she can give. She sees giving as the best way to establish a real relationship and a lasting connection. She approaches building relationships as if it's all about the other person and not about her. And in the process, builds relationships with people who follow the same approach. Did you get that? I just love that. It's really about the other person. It's about seeing how you can serve your reader. It's about seeing how you can develop the relationship for them. And in the process, you draw people to you who reciprocate. And you get the loyalty. You deepen those relationships. There is a chance a lot of relationships will sort of happen naturally, especially if you're open, because people will feel connected to you. But if you put in this effort, you will go deeper. I just know you'll go deeper. Okay, so 3 quick ways to connect to your readers. I propose using these 3 tools: Instagram, Facebook, and email. And this is how I propose you use them. Instagram, of course, beautiful photos. Beautiful branded photos. If you're a photographer, great. If you're not, you can buy Canva templates from Creative Market. In Canva, you just slip your photo into like a frame and it makes them all nice and matchy-matchy. And what I do a lot is show the behind the scenes in Instagram stories, because my photos aren't photo worthy and I just snap them with my phone and they're in whatever lighting. But mostly it's like, oh my goodness, this just happened. This is hilarious. Or this is a behind the scenes, or this is my coffee. And I take photos of that and just slip it into an Instagram story. And the stories video are so popular right now. People watch those a lot more than they actually go through their Instagram feed. I can't remember the stats, but it's like crazy stats, way over 50%. One more thing about the Instagram stories. I heard one tip from Rosemary Watson that it can also be the inspiration of what if. So if they followed your advice, if they read your stories, your advice, if they did your DIY, if they decorated like you, what would their life be like? So show the behind the scenes of staging that photo, or the fun that you have shopping for your photo props, or whatever it is. Inspire them with the behind the scenes of this is what life could be like if you did this. Number 2 is Facebook. So on Facebook, there's one lady that I started following, and I've been gleaning little nuggets from her. She talks about using your Facebook personal profile. Now, personal profiles are not to be used for business. Like, nah, nada. You don't want to get banned from Facebook. However, if you are creating relationships with people, that's a pretty fuzzy line. And I don't mind sharing. I'm pretty open on my personal Facebook page. So the photos that I share on there are for my mom and dad, really. But I have some great friends, and I love seeing their photos of their kids graduating, or, like just the stuff that really excites them in life is probably more interesting to me than their business life and your blog life and how long we sit in front of a computer, all of us, all day long, right? That's an idea. If you feel comfortable using your Facebook personal profile, you can actually get more traction there, and without paying for it, because Facebook pages are really, really difficult to get any traction on. If you are using a Facebook page and keeping it up to date, the best things to post are just once or twice a day, and to post fascination or fun content. Those are the two things that do really well. Something super fascinating and funny. Those are the two that do really well on Facebook pages. And you have to do it manually. If you use a program scheduler, you won't get very many views at all. For some reason, they do not like schedulers. They want you to be there interacting with people face to face. So we talked about all of the ways to go deeper with your clients. We talked about going deeper and treating them as the one and only. Knowing your readers. It's not we, it's actually just them, and to use featured clients or to use a live Q&A for them. We talked about responding promptly, maybe you're expanding your team. We talked about dialogue, make it a two-way street. And the fourth one that plays into that is to pick the topics that are open and go deeper instead of just those surface topics that are easy to talk about. Then we talked about ways to do this through Instagram, Facebook, and email is the last one. There are emails that I look forward to getting, and I'm going to tell you a few of them. And I think the ideal is that you learn what they are for your clients, know which emails they actually look forward to getting or open immediately, or it twigs their curiosity, and you need to become one of those by knowing them better, by getting closer to them, by providing what they actually like, which you will know through the two-way street and picking topics that go a little bit deeper. So these are some that I like getting. I like anything from my mentor. As soon as I see her name, I open that because it always makes me feel good. She's encouraging. Every time I get a note from my server, because I need to know that, it's an auto alert telling me something. My favorite clothing store, if I get an email from them, from their loyalty program specifically, I get like amazing coupons from the loyalty program. So I always open those, and they end up taking me on a little rabbit trail of the best kind, the shopping rabbit trails. Amazon, I'm kind of a sucker for opening and like scrolling through everything that's on sale. My mom, because she's probably sending me something funny, and Andertoons, because he's also a cartoon artist and sends funny newsletters and free cartoons. Those are the kinds that I could think of off the top of my head of the emails that I really like. Anybody, we all know that our inboxes are absolutely crammed full of email. So we know just by that fact that email is really popular. It still works. It's still a super convenient way of communicating with people. So use email, and it's also more private, less public than blasting it on the blog. Use email, but be an email that they want to open. So we're going to continue talking about what to email and how to email through the month of October. How open is too open, and how open is enough for you and or your audience?